salad every night, man. Green leafies.
Right.
And, yeah, it's good for you, man.
But does it fill you up, though?
Of course it does.
How can it fill you up? I find salads never fill me up.
Well, you've got to get maybe a bit with it as well, like you eat some toast and you make it tastier.
Right.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to...
Well, do you put a dressing on it?
Well, it depends what you do with it. I don't really put a dressing with it because I just fry it up with some eggs sometimes.
Right.
Or...
what about bacon? Do you put some bacon in it or something like that?
You
put some meat in it?
could do if you want. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's not the point.
It is the point. You talked about that empty bowl, and that is the point. I wanted to know more about that empty bowl. What was in that empty bowl?
The empty bowl, then.
Yep.
What I've gone and done is put the water that I boiled the Warragul lettuce in.
The Warragul lettuce, yeah.
And I put this boiling hot water in there, and I was planning on washing the dishes with it.
With the Warragul lettuce water?
Yes, because it's good and hot.
So what is Warragul lettuce?
Warragul lettuce, it's from
Warragul lettuce is a native...
I've heard of iceberg lettuce.
Head in a bloody hole. Warragul lettuce is a native Australian green leafy
from Warragul
that most heads haven't heard of. No, it's Victoria. A lettuce. It's a lettuce.
Yeah, but it's from Warragul.
Okay.
It is actually a type of lettuce.
Yeah. From Warragul.
But do you get that in your normal supermarket? I've never seen it.
No way.
Oh, okay.
I've asked about it and looked for it.
So where do you buy it?
Warragul.
I don't. I grow it in my backyard.
Warragul to get a lettuce.
It's something that's just always been growing here.
Oh. Okay.
And
I'll just learn something new every day.
Growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, look up on your Dr. Googly thing or whatever,
I just did.
Australian native for lettuces, and what is it? I think it's Warrigal.
It's called Warragul greens, isn't it? Not lettuce.
Yeah, whatever.
No, it's not whatever. If it's called greens, it's greens.
I thought it was. No. I'm pretty sure it is actually a lettuce because I have actually. Hope I'm remembering correctly here. I think I spoke to naturopaths about it as well, asking a bit about it on the few times that I've been to see the head. And the fact that it is actually a type of lettuce, I think.
Well, it says it's also known as New Zealand spinach.
I was going to say, is it spinach?
I think I've heard that one.
Or Botany Bay greens.
Botany Bay greens. So there's a few different places that want to own it.
Well, maybe there are different types of it, but the one that's in this joint is what exactly looks like what I saw on some gardening show as well. Now the coin drops.
Yep.
And, with some gardening show that they were doing, and also I've seen it again on a dude going around eating native plants in Australia. And there it was. It looked exactly like that.
Warragul lettuce.
Stuff in my yard.
Unbelievable.
And I've never seen it there before. So, my jaw dropped.
Yeah,
so whatever.
Fantastic. All right. Thanks, Jimmy.
But the reason why I called was about Julian Assange.
Yep. He eats Warragul lettuce.
Who cares? And the fact is that he's had his freedom taken from him because he is merely speaking the truth about things that he sees and has learnt about.
No, it's a little bit more complicated than him just speaking the truth.
Well, the fact that he's exposed the details, I did actually check the site on, a few different sites. I don't actually remember 100. I didn't write them down. So, but it is actually the fact that there was, I think it was a Black Hawk helicopter that mowed down a whole heap of heads in Iraq. There were soldiers in amongst it, but there were also a number of civilians.
Yeah.
And obviously the Americans weren't happy with that. And from what I remember, with the joys of my lovely memory, there were huge numbers of civilian casualties in Iraq. So, yeah, I mean, some might say, yeah, well, it just comes with the territory. But obviously we've got to be very careful in doing things like that because that's just not right. But sometimes you can't help it when you drop a big bomb on something that you're going to take out a few other heads as well.
That's what's called collateral damage. That's correct. Yeah. So what's your point, Jimmy?
The fact that Julian Assange, through WikiLeaks, has brought out the truth about this sort of stuff, and the US actually want to extradite him, and now it seems that this is actually happening. And that's a breach on freedom of speech, even if and when he gets over there. But the fact that the Australian government hasn't actually stood up and said, hey, listen, fellas, this guy is actually an Australian citizen. Now, does that show that someone's eaten out of someone else's back pocket or what?
Well, I mean, that's certainly, a fair enough observation to make. There's no doubt about that. Jimmy, I've got to keep moving, mate, all right, because we're running out of time, but you brought up your point, and I thank you very much for that, all right?
Whatever, Andrew. Night, mate.
Whatever. Yeah, you got to say what you want to say. Don't go sooky, all right?
Well, not sooky.
Yes, you are.
There's just more to it than that.
I know there is.
Because there's a lot more to it than that. And
I know, but you made your point. You made your point, and you made it well. So thank you very much.
Eaten out of pockets, and
Australia's eating Warragul lettuce.
Well, some of us do, but it's the fact the government's doing the whims of the American government, and that's why everything's not as we see reported on normal media channels. I got my information tonight from Al Jazeera, who aren't actually hooked up with West Farmers, like Channel 9 and all the big media corps, even you guys.
Well, there's been investigation going into that as we speak. But look, Jimmy, we'll talk soon, all right? Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, man.
All right. Okay. It's all right. Look at that time. It's 9 minutes after 11 now here on 1395 Adelaide's 5AA. Keep those calls coming in on 8223 0000. Got a couple of messages coming in. David's having a go at me. Says, I know you're trying to be funny, but the conversation with Leo was absolutely disgusting, sexist attitude. We were having a conversation. It wasn't sexist. It was just saying it as it was. That's what it is. It's just, it was reality. Nothing sexist about it all, David. So, you need to stop being so precious, mate. Stu's in Queensland. He says, hey, Andrew, talking of Christmas songs, can you play Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues? Makes a change from Elvis. Good on you, Stu. Thanks for listening up there in Queensland. Vic says, Andrew, Chris Rea's Driving Home for Christmas. That's a good song, but it kind of gets a little bit repetitive. I'm driving home for Christmas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know how he thought of that song?
No.
No? Do you know Brian?
While he was driving home for Christmas?
You got it in one. He was driving home for Christmas, and it hit him. Yeah, that's it.
He just said that line over and over again.
Yep. Ian says there's a shortage of pallets, which is affecting beer deliveries, so all those who are making furniture out of pallets have a lot to answer for. Yeah, I agree with you. Thank you very much, Ian. Another one says, so great to hear creepy old Andrew Reimer talking about how he loves to perv on chicks during the summer. Dude, you know you have used the... Oh, that's absolutely crap, you idiot, whoever sent that in. James says, hi, Andrew.